With improvement in its balance of trade with neighbors, especially Kenya and of course Congo, government has been encouraged to actually promote more exports to the region. Today, you can actually participate in cross-border trade with Congo without paying duties or certain duties. Well, we tell you how this happens. One of the ways strong economies are built is through promotion of production and at the same time, expansion of trade in produce commodities. This trade becomes more profitable once it is done across borders of a nation. Today, Uganda, keen to improve its balance of trade receipts, seem to have embraced this notion.
We are sensitized about the formal trade processes, especially on STR, where this is a simplified trade regime that came in purposely to make trade more easier to the small trader, where we are sensitized or we are told that a trader whose threshold is below $2,000, equivalent to something like 7 point something M, Ugandan currency, should pass freely, crossing the border to our neighboring Congo. And this was an agreement between the two countries, where they signed an agreement on the product that is in STR in the document of simplified trade regime. And they agreed that the products that can cross freely are only those ones that are made from Uganda.
Through the Great Lakes Trade Facilitation Project, government intends to support domestic production and trade at the micro level and eventually help strengthen the country's export docket, which has underperformed for a while.
The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, developed and adopted the measures aimed at reducing production and transaction costs, that is, having effective trade facilitation, and mitigating the effects of non-tariff barriers.
Beyond policy and paper, government is looking at establishing infrastructure at the border with DR Congo in appreciation of the fact that the economy offers immense export opportunities for Uganda.
The three intervention areas we have. The first one is looking at the border, what happens at the border. And inside that we have the construction of one-stop border post. So we are now coming up with border post infrastructure at Mpondwe. We are upgrading the border post infrastructure for Nagana, and we are making designs for Gori. On the market side, we are building a border market, again at Mpondwe. And as a concept, we have since actually changed the name. The name is Border Export Zone because it has a bigger scope. Inside it, we have a nucleus market. For example, there is already a border market at Mpondwe. So we're going to expand that. But over and above the actual market, we then have there various additional facilities. We have warehousing facilities. We have service facilities like banks.
This is also being followed with easing clearance processes for small and micro operators at the border with Congo.
And I work mostly as a trade facilitation officer because of most work we do here is to facilitate cross-border traders through their movement, through the challenge they go through because it is us to report to, and also to connect them to our border officials, our fellow border agents officers.
A critical question to ask is the level of involvement of other government agencies, considering the fact that cross-border traders have to engage with more than one government agency in the course of their activities.
Of course, the spirit of the initiative is that small-scale traders should be facilitated to be able to grow into big traders that also us as tax collectors or as revenue authority we would love to see. And one of the strategies is that some taxes should be relaxed to be able to allow these small scale traders enjoy and be able to grow.
The huge feat attained by Uganda when it for the first time exported more to Kenya than East Africa's biggest economy did last year has renewed confidence and commitment that the country's chances of growing export trade lie within the region. It is therefore not surprising that Congo is today featuring highly as an export destination, attracting much of Uganda's attention.